Why, hello, it's me, Kalis, the funny crab or whatever. Today, I'm gonna give you a full guide on Wildfrost because I have over 250 hours on this game and I really like it, so I wanted to share it with the world that doesn't know Wildfrost. So, how couldn't you know Wildfrost? I mean, it's such a good game. So, anyway, it's Wildfrost. You have your Wildfrost title card, then there's mods. I'm just using this mods for quality of life. This just lets me to change profiles. Nothing very important. But there's a full glossary with all the achievements you can get, which unlock you new charms and cards. All the cards in the game, allies, like this guy, Big Berry, 10 HP, 5 attack, every 4 rounds. Cards you can play one card per turn. And clunkers, which are basically allies, but they don't have regular HP, they don't take one damage, they don't take the damage that they're hit for, they take 1 scrap HP of damage. So this guy is 3 HP, if you hit him for 20 damage, he takes 1 scrap damage, reduced by 1 when any damage is taken. And if you deal 1 damage to him, he also loses 1 scrap HP. So good for tanking big hits. Anyway, main screen. Here are just all the collectibles you can get throughout the game. But I think we should just jump right in. Please ignore that for now. You have not seen anything. And there's 3 times you can choose from. Each all have their little story, which you can see here, the snow rollers. Pretty cool art and also very cool music for this game, so it's just very good. And you just choose a tribe. First is the Snow Roller tribe that focuses on snow and spice and shell and shroom. And then you get to pick one of 3 leaders. So you either have 11 HP guy, attacks every 5 rounds. This card will trigger in 5 turns, in 3 turns, and in 5 turns. This does little damage, but also has a low counter. This has a high counter and not that much damage, but it has Frenzy, so it triggers twice. So it's after 5 turns, deal 3 times 2 equals 6 damage. And this is just the same, but it's basic 6 damage. They also have an ability, some leaders. This doesn't have an ability, but Frenzy is usually better than just 1 6 attack. So 3 times 2 is better than 6. And this guy deals 4 additional damage to damage targets. I'm gonna go with the basic one. And then you also get to pick one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 companions. All are pretty good. Spike is the best bet, but I really like Loki. He attacks every 3 turns, does 3 damage, and has 5 HP. And also he has some traits. The traits are aimless, hits a random target in the row, so you don't know where he's gonna hit, that's why he's sometimes annoying. And he applies Demonize, which doubles the damage of the next hit the enemy takes, which is very good for dealing massive amounts of damage. And every turn, you have these cards, and you can play these cards, one of those cards, and then your turn is over. And after your turn is over, all these will count down. You can click on the eye here to see in which order they count down. This counts down first, then this, then this, then this. And when someone's counter reaches 0, they attack in the same row, or if there's nobody in the same row, the guy in front in the other row, and deal damage equal to their attack. So this guy deals 1 damage in 2 turns to this guy, because I don't have anybody else to block the damage. And there's also effects. When hit, gain +1 attack. And he applies Snow. Snow is the thing that stops the enemy from counting down, which is really good. If I don't want him to trigger, I can use my Snow Stick, which deals 1 damage and applies 2 snow. So he won't trigger for 2 turns. So the counter is stuck. Best if I just play. And you can also play more companions by placing them on the board, which also costs a turn. This guy just does 2 damage. And this thing counts the guy down by 2, plus the 1 at the end of every turn. So you can make them trigger faster. I'm just gonna place Loki, and now everybody counts down. Wait, I should actually put my game speed, game options. Wait, there is not even game speed. There is no game speed. I have just realized that. So he will do 1 damage. Red means that he's triggering this turn. And this Wild Snoof is gonna kill me. So I could either freeze him for 2 turns, or I could hit him with the Scrappy Sword this turn. And then he's gonna attack for 1 damage. See, now he only has 4 HP. And this turn I could kill him with my Scrappy Sword. If the HP reaches 0, he is obviously dead. He does 1 damage. And he hits a random target in the row, which is only the penguin because there are no targets in the other slots. So I can kill him. The Changun is gonna hit my leader, and Loki is gonna kill. And if you kill multiple enemies in the same turn, you get 5 for each consecutive kill. That's called combo money. Here is the money. You'll also get some base money for killing enemies. And you might ask yourself, how do you get new cards? Well, that's by simply redrawing, which costs 1 turn. You draw 6 cards, but you spend 1 turn. But this redraw bell also counts on every single turn, and if it reaches 0, you can use it for free. So if I play it, either I could redraw here and spend 1 of my turns, or I could spend 1 of my turns using the snow stick, and then it counts down. Now you can see it's charged. This is a free action, meaning it will not end your turn, which is pretty good. I hit it, and I redraw. Same item, snow stick, sunrod. Flame water increases the attack of the target by 1 for the battle. And Woodhead, as I said, scrap HP, reduces by 1 when any damage is taken. So if we have Big Changun hitting us for 20 damage, which he won't, but if he would, we could just block this with Woodhead. Yeah. And also, if the HP of your guys goes to 0, they die for a fight, they come back after a fight. But if the leader dies, you lost. So that's your goal. And you see why Frenzy is pretty good here, because you can increase the attack with Flame Water. And that's what I'm gonna do. Now it's 4 times 2. If we had just a base 6, it wouldn't increase by much. And every 5 turns, new enemies come in. In the next 5 turns, there will be 5 new enemies. And you can call them in. Actually, let me do more stuff here. So we have Wild Goons every 3 turns to 3 times 1. And Goblin, escape from the battle when triggering. He's not hitting you, but if you hit him, you get $4 each time. It's especially good hitting him with Snow Stick, because it only does 1 damage, so you can hit him more for more money. But it also stops him from escaping the battle, which you don't want because then you can't get money. And Loki is also pretty good because now Demonize, double damage taken, counts down after taking damage. So now I could theoretically just count down Loki again for 2, and now he triggers this turn. And we get money, and I could hit the Goblin again for 4 more money, plus 4. I can redraw. And now I hit him with Snow Stick for 4 more money, because we don't have anything better to do. And now we could just let them hit into Goblin. But we can also press on the enemy wave bell to call the enemies in early, for free. There has to be enough spaces, but we can now call them in. And there is our first boss, Big Peng, with his big wooden bazooka. Why the hell does he have a bazooka? I don't know. And this guy is gonna kill the first 2, 4 times 2. So he's also pretty good at cleaning out small enemies and not sinking 1 big damage hit into 1 guy. And then Loki is gonna kill the remaining 1. And as I said, there's combo money for killing guys in the same turn. So we could also kill this guy for even more combo money. So let's do this. As you can see, 2 times combo, 3 times combo, 4 times combo money. Is there really nothing where you can change the game speed? But really? Okay. I guess so. Now we can freeze the Goblin again. Because the boss, even though he does 5 damage, he will die in like 1 second. And also we have our Woodhead here, who blocks the 5 damage completely. And now we see if Loki hits the Goblin or the boss. He is aimless, he hits the Goblin. And now we can just count them down to counter so they'll immediately trigger. And we get the money from the boss. But how does this game continue? Is there only one battle? No! There's multiple battles. In fact, there is 8 total, plus a secret one if you get to the harder difficulties. So there's 2 paths you can take. Either you take the bottom or the top path, you just click on the node. And here you get the charm. Each guy on your team can have a maximum of 3 charms. The charms buff the stats and give them special abilities sometimes. This is a node where you get more companions. You can have a maximum of 4 companions. All the other companions go in reserve. And you can obviously put them in the reserve right now. But I would want Loki, because Loki is just free HP and free damage. Because if you play him once, he just triggers and you don't have to do anything. So that's pretty good. And that's Gnome Traveler and Treasure. In the Treasure, you can find cards. There are 3 cards. And you get to choose one of them to add to your deck. If you don't want any of them, you can just skip it. And Gnome Traveler is basically the same, but you can choose all 3 cards. Only downside is that you get a second card to the card you take. For each card you take, you get a second card. That's just junk. It does 0 damage, and you have to play it. Or not play it. It just trashes your deck. So it's better to go bottom here, because in the early game you struggle a lot with companions. Because companions are really strong, in the early game at least. If you find somebody with like 9 HP, then they can take like at least 3-4 hits and deal massive amounts of damage. Okay, Wallop deals 4 damage every 4 rounds, which is pretty good, has 9 HP, and also deals 8 additional damage to snow targets. That's where our snow stick also comes in. He's pretty good in the early game. Bonnie restores 2 HP and cleanses all allies. Cleansing means she gets rid of all negative effects like slow or demonize or something, which is pretty good. But the enemies don't apply a lot of snow, so you don't really need the cleansing. Pooty is also very, very good when destroyed at 1x frenzy to a random ally. The 1 attack every 3 turns is not that important, so you can just sacrifice Pooty to get a Loki that triggers twice every 3 turns. But I think... yeah, I'm gonna go with Wallop, because Wallop is pretty good in the early game. Pooty is fun for late game stuff, but... I mean, it's the second fight. Oh, good. As you can see, some cards have this golden border. This is just, if you complete a more difficult run with them, you get a border around them, so they look more beautiful. There's the gold border, and then there's the chiseled border, as you can see on this guy. He's chiseled, he's gold. Gold is better. So we have either, while active, allies gain Zoomlin when drawn. Zoomlin means the cards don't end your turn when you play them. So this just makes all allies free to play, which might sound good at first, but there's something later in the game that you can get, which are crowns, and that you can put on cards, and those cards you can play at the start of battle, so you don't have to rely on RNG. So this is suddenly a lot worse, which is why it doesn't have a gold border, because I don't like it. Then there's apply 2 Spice to all allies. Spice temporarily increases attack, so this wouldn't do 3 damage times 2, but 5 damage times 2, which is very, very good. And then there's the Pepper Flag. While active, all allies retain the Spice, so you can start stacking Spice, 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 And then this goes from 3 damage to like 20 damage times 2. And then you just start killing. And that's why Pepper Flag is really good if you happen to find something with spice. And now another Frozen Traveler. And yeah. And this Frozen Traveler node you're always gonna find after the first battle. At least one and then 2 pairs with each 2 options. And it doesn't have to include a second companion option though. Fun Gun. Apply to Shroom, which is just this game's version of Poison. Deals damage every turn and counts time by 1 each turn after dealing the damage. Apply to Shroom and increase by 1 when hit. So he's a kind of tanky guy. Roibos. When hit, add +1 attack to the ally with the lowest attack, which is also pretty good. It's perma-scaling attack, also kind of a tank, and he does decent damage for the early game. Or there's Funny Tiny Tycho. This is what we call an attack scaler. He scales pretty good with attack because he has base 2 frenzy, and every time he gets hit, although he only has 2 HP, he gains another frenzy. So you can just go to like 5 frenzy, and this pairs really well with attack increases and spice. That's why he is an attack scaler. And judging by the fact that I have Pepper Flag, and if I get spice, I can retain that spice, I want an attack scaler for now, and that's Tiny Tycho. Sometimes you shouldn't pick Tiny Tycho here because you maybe don't have Wall Up. If you don't have another guy with good HP, you shouldn't take Tiny Tycho here, because he is a late game carry, but he doesn't do anything for now. Anyway, second battle. Berry Witch and Earth Berry. Deal additional damage equal to HP, which is really scary. 6 damage. And I place down Wall Up so that he can start counting down. Same with Loki. But what I can do is use my Woodhead, and he only takes 1 damage. He's just a sacrifice. 4 plus 3 damage equals enough damage to kill this guy. Restore 2 HP to all allies. This doesn't increase above the cap, which means he will die. And I maybe put more attack on my leader, because frenzy plus attack increase is very good. And I don't want to call in the enemies for now, I just want to play Tiny Tycho. And so we have 2 more Earth Bears, which are pretty stupid. But you know, I am bold. I'm gonna hit the Goblin for his money. Okay, Loki, who are you gonna hit? Loki's either gonna hit the Snowbird, which I can kill, or the Earthberry, which I can also kill, and I can also freeze the upper Earthberry. Best if he hit Earthberry, please, Loki. And that's why I always take Loki. See, Loki is my goat. He in fact is a goat, a literal goat. And apply 4 snow. And long shot. Long shot means hits the furthest target in a row. I'm gonna have him hit Tiny Tycho because Tiny Tycho, he is tiny and he's also not doing much. So kill the Earthberry because Earthberry is 3 HP, but he also has Demonize, so 2 times 4 equals 2 times 2 equals 4. Kill, and Wall Up does 4 damage, and he also kills. Remember, you can heal your companions by recalling them. Thank you, game. I almost forgot that. You can take your companions and recall them. And also, do you notice how he has snow? And do you remember what I told you about the cleanse effect? The cleanse effect also applies if you recall a companion. So now he healed 5 HP, and not above the cap though, and he also doesn't have snow anymore, which is pretty good. And now I can just redraw and continue on with my slaughtering adventure. Would have been really good if I had Flame Watcher here, because then it's 5 attack, 5 times 2 equals kill. But you know what we also have? Hit the goblin and then block the 5 damage. Yeah, and we let the goblin survive for one more hit. 4 and 4 and 3. And the goblin can sacrifice himself once more to a greater cost. Deal additional damage equal to HP, which is very, very scary. I'm gonna kill the goblin now for his $4. But if you just get out damaged quickly enough or freeze the boss, it's gonna be nothing. Wait. No, that's stupid. I wanted to get a multi-kill. Yeah, that's how I can get a multi-kill. I'm just thinking, sorry. Because multi-kill gives extra money. And if I were to count down this guy on the last turn, he will deal 4 times 2 equals 8 damage to this guy, kill him, and 4 damage to the Berry Witch. And she would die, but she wouldn't, because if you use the item, the guy doesn't trigger after that. So if I use the item, he wouldn't trigger after that, so the Berry Witch would be still alive. Yeah. That didn't make any sense, did it? Okay, we have treasure, which is first. Moko Totem triggers when 10 spies reached and destroys itself, but it has 5 times frenzy and 10 spies equals 10 damage. 10 times 5 equals 50 damage, which is a lot. But because I have Pepper Flag, I could also put the spice on all those guys and get a lot more damage out of it. I think, at least. Scrap Pile, add 1 scrap HP to cards, which sounds pretty good on paper, until you realize you have to spend 1 entire turn, which is really, really not worth it in the late game. And Kabonker, trigger against anything that is hit with snow, which also is your allies. So if your allies get hit by snow, Kabonker is also gonna hit them. He does not distinguish between friend and foe. Good old Kabonker. Kabonk. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave and take nothing here. And we either have companion and another item choice, or money and another item choice. Money you can spend at this at this shop. So yeah, I'm gonna go money. I only have $168. I need more dollars. Give me my money. And these can give from 40 to 80 gold, anything, which is pretty good. Pretty good money. And then we get another guy on our team. What guy do we get? Wart applies 2 shroom every 3 turns times 2. So he's 4 shroom every 3 turns, which is very good. He's also a kind of attack scaler because he has a low counter, unlike our leader and Frenzy, but he has aimless. Colonel is a tank, just like Roibos I showed you earlier. He has the same stats, 8, 4, 3. Wait, let me pull up Roibos. Roibos? More like Roibos. Roibos team. Do you know the Roibos team? It's pretty funny. Wait, where is he? There he is. It's a 8-3-4, 8-3-4. They are the same. But Colonel doesn't increase attack when he's hit. He applies 2 shell, which is just temporary HP. It's HP that can't be regenerated to the ally behind. It's shield, basically. And Fulbert, when he gains spice or shell, he applies equal shroom to a random enemy, which is pretty good. If you give him 10 shell, he applies 10 shroom to a random enemy. But unless you have a crazy setup, you're probably not gonna get 10 shell on him. So, Wart or Colonel? That is the question. Wart doesn't have a gold border, but he's not gonna get one, so And you know what? What is more beautiful? And now we can see we have reached our maximum companions. And now we gotta put one in the reserve. Tiny Tycho, you're just like worst word. And so goodbye. Now entering the shop. We have 3 items, normal items, 1 consume item. Consume items can be used once per battle. After that, they get consumed. Literal gambling, where you just put $45 in and then get a charm, and the next time it costs more, and then even more. So you're getting robbed. And then you have the most powerful thing in this game, a crown. Cards with crowns are always played at the start of battle, just like the leader. The leader has this little crown, you can't really see it, but there's a crown behind there. So you're probably almost always picking up a crown. That's like the most important thing to do in this game. Crown, and you can put the crown on whatever card you like, except the cards that already have crowns. Wallop? I want Wallop on my team. Or do I want Ward? Ward is damage. Yeah, I want damage. Then we have apply 4 snow, but reduced by 1 when played. Which is a bit better than our snow sticks, but we have already 2 snow sticks. And we don't want to get our deck full, because this is kind of valuable, but not really. Deal 5 damage to all undamaged enemies. Can be pretty good. And Berry Blade, restore HP to front ally equal to damage dealt. So in the optimal case, you're almost always regenerating 4 HP and dealing 4 damage at the same time. Double the damage of the Scrappy Sword and also regenerating HP. So this is very, very good. And then you also have a Molten Dip to increase the attack by 2, which would get our leader up to 5 attack. But it also has 1 niche keyword, and that's Barrage. Hits all targets in a row. On one side of the battlefield, that is. Which means that not only your leader is getting, if you're putting it on your leader, but also everybody else in a row. So it can hit leader, ward, and Loki at the same time. So yeah, I'm taking that. And because I have $69 nice left, I'm just gonna go gambling. Give me a charm. Thank you. Nice customer service. Anyway, I gotta go drink something real quick because I'm really thirsty. I did a lot of talking. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So we got a charm called the Shield Charm. Save for later. Okay, we go into our backpack here and gain 3 shell on kill, which is just 3 HP. And you can regenerate, obviously. Which is pretty good. I mean, it's not one of the best charms in the game, but it's okay, so you can put it on pretty much anyone you want. I mean, putting it on Tiny Tycho seems like a fun idea, because Tiny Tycho doesn't have a lot of HP, but he needs to get hit a lot. I'm maybe just gonna put it on leader. Now they have an ability. Pitfork, yay, ability. Oh, also another cool feature, you can rename. Wildfrost, such a quality game. Yes. Very creative name. Time to beat up Infernoco. That's the first main boss, as you can see, because he takes up 2 slots. And he also has something called Snow Resistant. He can only have a maximum of 1 snow at a time. So that's not really good. Anyway. Okay, you're gonna deal 1 damage. How frightening. And Wart, what are you gonna do? The Aimless Squad. Aimless. The question is... Yeah, I think I'm gonna... Berry Blade restores to the leader. You could theoretically hit your leader for 4 and restore 4 HP, but why would you do that? And then hope Loki kills the porcupine. Or ward, yeah, hits it once, exactly. So no damage gets lost, because he has 1 damage on the porcupine, but he also has shroom. And the boss, when an ally is killed, gain their attack, which is pretty scary. And we don't want him triggering even more, because the boss is gonna gain the attack. And then we have 3 times 2, 6 kills, and we can put Molten Dip on those guys even. Hits everybody in the room. 5 damage, 5 damage, 3 damage. And maybe possibly kill the Mini Moko up there. 1, 2, and now you realize the boss has a second phase. 30 HP, and 2 counter, and those guys that are in 2 rows, as you can see by the red dots, hit the guys in both rows. This is why he is also very scary. But he only does 2 damage. But every time he attacks, he gains 1 more damage, which is very, very scary. Wart, count you down by 2. And please hit the frosting one. Twice would have been the best. I mean, you can't always get the best. And frosting, you get to die. I forgot about combo money. This is not gonna be combo money. I've gotta say, combo money is one of my favorite Wildfrost turns. And he deals 8 additional damage to damage targets, and if I put Loki in front of him, he would have probably killed the boss, because Demonize double damage. But I did not put Loki in front of him, in fact. Wait, the question is, how do I do this so I get the most combo money? 5 damage will kill. 5 damage onto this, leaves him at 3. He does 3 times 2 on the Mini Moko and kills him. So if we just hit this, he does 5. Yes does 5 and then kills, and Ward does 3 times 2 and also kills. Wow! And now we get to take 2 of the all rewards. Either we get a crown, which is pretty OP, and you almost always take the crown. Scrap to get 1 more scrap permanently on one of your clunkers. Yeah, by the way, they are called clunkers. Clunker. Plus 8 shell, just at the start of battle, a bit more HP. First consumed card played each battle is not consumed, so that would mean we get 2 molten dips, which is very, very good. Wave bell counter +1, which means the enemies come in 1 turn later. Or redraw bell counter -1, which means you don't have to wait 4 turns to recharge the redraw bell and get a free redraw. Only 3 turns, which is also good. So you almost always take crown, as I said. And the 2 best things here are -1 redraw counter or +2 attack from Molten Dip, because you can use it twice. And also all the charms on it, if you get Molten Dip buff charms. Yeah, that's definitely a thing in the game. Molten Dip buff charms. Definitely. Trust me, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna take double Molten Dip. And that's not the best. So we have 1 new event here, Muncher. Muncher destroys 2 cards in your deck, which you can obviously choose to just thin out your deck, which is very, very good. And also, wait, do we get Tiny Tycho as well? Maybe, I don't know. And we have either money and travelers. I'm not counting the things that are the same. So more money and more travelers. Or get rid of cards and have a shop. Shops come after fight 3. Fight 2, I mean. Fight 3, this was just fight 3. And then after fight 5. So after next fight, there's not going to be a boss. No, not going to be a shop, so we won't get to spend our money. which is why I'm gonna go with this shop, even though I only have $94 and crowns cost 75. And that's why we win these. Okay, let me just explain. Frostbloom applies frost, which is the opposite of spice, temporarily reduces the attack. You'll normally put this on enemies, obviously. Who would have guessed that? Wow, I'm so smart. Yeah. Summoning wafers add summoning to all cards in your hand. So those cards in your hand don't end your turn when played. But the summoning goes away after you play a card. Which means you get to play one hand for free. And not for free, but for one turn, because you have to summon wafers. So 5 cards for one turn, which is very good if you have high value cards. Or what you could also take is plus 7 spice, which normally means temporarily increasing attack, obviously. But because we have the pepper flag, it's not temporary plus 7 damage, but permanent plus 7 damage. Permanent, I mean for the entire fight, which is very, very good. And now we have the Muncher. A Muncher. Munchie likes to eat everything you can feed him. Any items you can feed him any items you don't need. Exactly. We don't need boring old scrappy sword. We don't need boring old scrappy sword. And now he's full. He only likes to eat 2 quarts. Chomp. Please show me something. Nice. Frostbell. Applies to frost to all guys in one row. Probably the enemies, because you're not playing Frostbell on your own team. Wow, who would have guessed that? Pinkberry Juice, increasing HP by 4, and Shell Shield applying 4 shell. Pinkberry Juice is just basically a better version of Shell Shield, because HP you can regenerate, and Shell you can. There are some niche use cases where Shell is better, but normally you always take Pinkberry Juice. Also, Pinkberry Juice has got a discount. And then there's Blaze Tea, adds 1 Frenzy to the target, but also increases their counter permanently by 1. So this wouldn't be every 5 turns triggered twice, this would be every 6 turns triggered 3 times, which is pretty good. Pretty good on high counters, or guys that just need Frenzy. I don't know. Crown is also obviously always good, and Charms. But for the strategy we're going here, we're probably gonna need one more Crown. Pinkberry Juice is also very, very strong. But we have Berry Blade for HP sustainability. And if we just have enough damage, we can kill the enemies before they can do any damage to us. That's the strat here. Place down Ward, place down Pepper Flag, place down Yes. And then every 3 turns attack twice or 5 turns attack twice. Who are we gonna put this on? Ward, obviously. And then we can... I think I'm gonna count on Ward, actually. He's gonna kill one of the this Shell Witch, and maybe also the other one. And I just want to see right now which one, if he kills the other Shell Witch as well. Please, hey, he's my bro. And then we put down Loki. Then we increase the attack. And then it's just time to kill. 9 times 2 plus 5 extra attack, and the spice doesn't go away. Very spicy. And I'm gonna call in the enemies, because what are you gonna do? Oh, Prickle. Just such a little prick. Oh, haha, I'm so funny. Teeth. Prickle has teeth. Deals damage to the attacker, so if you hit him, you take 2 damage back. And every 3 turns, Prickle also gains 2 more teeth, which is very scary, especially if you have high frenzy and low attack. And for example, Tiny Tiger would just probably kill himself if he attacked Prickle. Not probably, but just literally. But this leader gains 3 shell and kill, so all the HP is back. And we just hit Goblin because we are gonna obliterate them. Definitely. Yeah. Wart, please launch one nuke. Thank you. And now we can play the Flame Water, 6 damage leader, until we get our redraw. And I don't want to call them in because all of them are on a 2-turn counter. And you know what I just realized? Because the first consume card we played this battle was Dragon Pepper, we get another Dragon Pepper. Which is not 2 damage on everybody in a row, but 7 damage on one target. More wood. 16 times 2. Yes. That sounds very balanced. 6 times 2 equals... exactly. And then we put Loki Demonize. That if Loki hits the Shell Witch, and we hit her first with the Snow Stick, he kills the Shell Witch, and this guy kills Bolgo. And if Loki hits Bolgo, he kills Bolgo in one hit because Loki applies Demonize. And then he kills the Shell Witch, and the leader is just gonna kill Conquer. Okay, Loki, what you're gonna do? Okay, I hit this guy, and now we do... Wow! 16 times 2 damage in one singular hit. And that's strong. Now. Nah, haha, wow. We get ours another new note. Shroom Mine. When hit, apply Shroom to the attacker. Just Woodhead, but deals a bit of damage back. While active, add 1 Frenzy to allies without a crown. He can be very, very good at times, but I just don't like playing around non-crowned units. And there's also Mobile Campfire, while active add +3 attack to allies in a row. Which we don't need because we have like plus 20 million attack. What is 3 more attack gonna do? And it's kind of crashing our deck, but the advantage with these clunkers is if you place them down, they just take 1 turn to place down, block some damage for you, and then they're out of the deck for the fight. So Shroom Mine is actually the best thing we take here. Yeah, I think so. And then we either have Free Charm or Free Charm. And then we have a Frozen Traveler. Or we have Gambling Lady. She just sells charms, 3 charms to be exact, which you can buy for money. Those go from like $20 to $100, I think, and $99. And she also sells a card that is already upgraded with the charm. Better if I just show you. Spice Sparkles already has the block charm. You can right click on the card and then right click on the charms to see it. Block charm starts with 1 block. Block is just the same thing as scrap. And yeah, charms. We either have overpriced Gambling Charm. Gambling Charm is just attack, counter, and health are randomized between 2 and 5. Which would be pretty good on our Tiny Tycho. Tiny Tycho could only get an upgrade from attack if his HP also can only get higher or stay the same. And counter, for counter you can hit either 2 or 3, which is good. 4 is the same, and 5 is bad. So it's pretty good for like such attack scalers. Not as good for Ward because the advantage of Ward is his low timer. And Smackback. Gain Smackback. Counter attack after getting hit by an enemy. So if an enemy hits you, you attack back the same enemy. And if it's aimless, a random enemy in that row. Which is also pretty good if you have a lot of HP. But it's also expensive. And then there's Useless Charm. Gain Yank, pull the target to the front. This is mostly useful on items because normal guys only hit the frontmost targets, and aimless guys hit a random target, and you don't want to pull a random guy to the front. It's not helpful. It's complete waste of money. So I'm gonna take Jimbo Charm. It's gambling. Randomize the stats. And now we get another free charm. I just take the charm before I put on a Jimbo Charm to see if I get something funny. Useless. Restore 3 HP on kill. Gain 3 shell on kill. Yeah, in this case, the shell is better. But this is restore. I'm still gonna put it on leader. Haha. And now we Jimbotron. Randomize attack, health, and counter. By the way, this is a reference to Balatro. If you don't know Balatro, the gambling game with the Jimbo. Anyway, wow, wow, what value? He has 2 HP, but now he has 2 attack. Counter didn't change, HP didn't change. He just get 1 more attack, which doesn't even matter because we have 20 million spice. Because of that, I'm not gonna put him in. I thought of replacing him with Ward, replacing Ward with him, but no, it's unacceptable. Okay, scary guy. He has barrage, just like our molten dip. He hits every guy in 1 row, which is really scary. If you don't have 14 damage before he triggers, and just immediately kill him. And that's one tiny advantage I have. Freeze Grumble because I don't want to take damage. I think Loki is very good here to hit the Bigfoot because he's gonna hit 1 more guy in the other row. Yeah, and maybe it's even the guy that I want to kill. Woolly Drake is funny. Eat and absorb a random ally. And because he doesn't have any allies, I'm just gonna call them in for him because he needs to eat someone. He almost never eats the goblin. I don't know why, but he just doesn't eat the goblin. Yeah, he also gains the trait of the guy. So he gains 12 HP plus 5 attack and barrage after attacking, so it's not complete luck if you just get obliterated. But still funny to see what he turns into. And if he eats the goblin, he will just escape. And yeah. I think I'm gonna just give Wart more Wart. Yeah, and he just ate that guy. Gained some attack, some HP. 14 damage. Wow. And put Loki. Put him back. Because if you didn't realize the trigger order by now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I want Loki to trigger first. And if Loki and the Ward end up hitting the same target, it's just some more extra damage. And I could freeze Grumble, or could just freeze the Goblin for more money. Give me my money. Grumble, oh, they hit the same target, but the Demon Eyes didn't matter. I'm so smart. Anyways, gonna count him down. 14 times 2. Oh, yes. That's just what I wanted. And now Willy Drek is gonna die. Wow, goodbye. 3 damage from Shroom. Increase their attack. Kill the Goblin. Goodbye, Goblin. I could have greeted more, but who needs greed? And yeah. Wart, launch a nuke. When hit, gain 2 teeth. That's pretty scary. If the Willy Drek eats this thing because he has a lot of HP, but we just kill Papa, so it's no threat to us. Haha. And Biggle, it's a big eagle. So big. It's such a funny pun. Wow. Why do we make random wah noises? That's not normal. Anyway, I'm just hitting those guys. And now he's gonna kill those 2 guys. I'm gonna redraw because it doesn't matter, because he does. And 16 times 2 damage on that guy and 16 damage on that guy. And they're both dead. Victory! Oh, and that's the last node. It's just Shade Sculptor. With the Shade Sculptor, you can duplicate a card. This card can also be Dragon Pepper. So we either have spend our money on the Charm Merchant, to right after that spend our money on the Woolly Snail, but we don't have any money anymore because we spend it on Charm Merchant, or we have get another 7 damage and get more money to spend. So yeah, obviously Shade Sculptor. What is with my voice today? Anyway, Dragon Pepper. Just click on it. He's gonna follow your cursor. He's a weird little guy. I'll put it right in the middle. Is this right in the middle? I think it is. Anyway, Dragon Pepper. Money. How much? This looks like much. 47. That wasn't much at all. As I said, 40 to 80. Oh, bad, bad, bad. Good, good. Okay, let's explain. Yank and pull the target to the front, which is kind of funny, and it does 1 damage, and it is Numlin. Numlin is just like summon, and the card does not end your turn when played. So it's just free 1 damage and pull the target to the front. But it kind of clogs up your deck, so it's not really as good as it seemed at first. Then you have Spore Pack. Applies 2 Shroom to all the guys in the row, which is pretty good. And enemies, 2 damage plus 1 damage the next turn. And if you can increase its effects, which you can do with some charms and stuff, you can make it deal even more damage because it's Shroom. And you can also have Sunlight Drum, count down the target by 1, and the target being everybody in a row. So you count down this guy, and this guy, which is pretty good. Sunrod only counts down by 1, but it counts down everybody, which is not that bad. And here we have the true value of Numlin Biscuit. This just takes 1 turn and adds Numlin to a card on your hand, which means you could either play the card or play the Numlin Biscuit on the card, and then play the card for free. So it's basically no turns lost, and after that, for the rest of the entire fight, it still has Numlin, so it does not end your turn when played. Unlike Zoomlin. Zoomlin goes away after 1 play. And we also have Crown, because I want to take Crown. Give me more Dragon Pepper. Give me. And I think I'm gonna go Gambling, because I don't really need Numlin. I mean, I could take it after I go Gambling. And Gambling? Not that bad. And then we have, now it costs 65 instead of 45. Spark Charm means the card triggers when you place it down, which is not that bad. Gonna tell you, it's not that bad. But I'm not gonna put it on anymore, because like 6 damage from a leader, wow, how crazy. Actually, yeah, I'm not gonna put it on my leader. And do we want Numlin Biscuit? Make more Numlin Berry Blade, I guess? Yeah, it's good, because the entire rest of our deck is just, Spicy. Spicy picks, what? No, okay. Wart, Pepper Flag. I'm maybe gonna put the 3rd Dragon Pepper onto our leader. And now we have Truffle. Split when 10 HP lost. He just splits. Pop Shroom, destroy self, and apply for Shroom. Pretty much damage. Pretty much. What is wrong with me today? Anyway, Numlin Biscuit on Berry Blade. Hit Pop Shroom. Place this down, and Truffle is gonna do a lot of damage probably very soon. Put Wart down. Kill the Pop Shroom. And Truffle is gonna split. Split, Truffle. He would have done damage in both throws, so it's not really a difference. But if Truffle splits like more than once, you have yourself a really big issue. Actually, I'm gonna do it like that, so that Loki can do the damage, and then Wart. Please, Wart. And then you'll kill and restore the HP that you lost. Look, it's so fun. Kill. Give me my kills. And now we have the Shroodle's Puffball combo. Shroodle deals no damage, but Shroodle is aimless, which is also bad if the enemy has it. For you and not for the enemy, because you don't know where he's gonna hit. 3 times, and he applies 1 Shroom, which is pretty bad. Plus the Puffball apply 2 Shroom trigger against the target when an ally attacks. So he does 2 extra Shroom if Shroodless attacks, so. And we want those gone as soon as possible. Loki, Don't you dare hit this stupid puffball. I'm gonna increase truffle because he halves the status effects after splitting. I'm not gonna hit him with Snow Stick because that would lose the value of Demonize. So he halves his status break into cards with half HP and status effects, as I just said. But Snow is still really good on the big guy. Yeah, and now he splits. And he still has the Demonize, even though we triggered the Demonize. I think we triggered the Demonize? We did, yeah, I think so. Looks like it, at least. And now we're just gonna count on what and kill. Oh, I should have maybe gotten more money. I don't know. But yeah. The Demonize and Snow is really good on him. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's the second main boss, boss 6. The first one was 3, 6, and then 9 is the other big boss. Not really, 8 is the big boss. We have Moostorm, increase the counter by 1, but gain 3 attack. Which is really stupid, because we have 7 attack in one singular card and it doesn't increase our counter. And really low counter is really good. Frenzy Charm, on the other hand, add 2 Frenzy and gain Consume. Which means the card triggers 3 times, but it gets consumed. Which means you don't have it in your deck anymore, but you get more uses out of it. And with a card like Flame Water or Pinkberry Juice, that's really good. Because you don't really want to play this a lot. But if you can just play it once, get a lot of triggers out of it, and then have it out of your deck, it's really good. Although, for Flame Water, there's another charm that's even better. And like 3 times Flame Water is not that good here because we have our Dragon Pepper, as I said. So we have the bells. Draw a card each turn while the redraw bell is charged. So you don't have to redraw if you just get good cards. And then you have the counterpart to this. Start each battle with the redraw bell fully charged. Which is just a good combo. At the start, you can play 1 card and then you draw 1 card. And then you play 1 card and you draw 1 card. And you don't have to wait for the redraw bell to charge because it is charged. Also, there's the Sun Bell of Recalling. Recalling your companion will count down the bell by 2. But it's basically useless. So, I don't really take it. Except if you want to do some stupid stuff. Muncher or item. Look at the useful items in our deck. This. Do we want more of this? Yes, but do we also want to play more useful cards? Yes. Scrappy Sword gone. Flame Water gone because we have our, as you guessed it, or Dragon Peppers. And now we go into the battle. The Wild Hogs. Wild Hogs because they are wild. They have wild. Gain 1 frenzy when other wild cards are killed. And he also smack counter attack after taking a hit. Which means if you kill one of them, the other guys are suddenly up to 2 times frenzy. Oh, and then they go to 3 times frenzy. And this guy smacks you for 20 million bajillion damage. So yeah, either you kill this guy in 1 hit, or you die. Or you just freeze him. Also, that's also a thing. But we could theoretically kill him in 1 hit. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I want to place Loki down, actually. What is the thing I'm supposed to be doing? It's this. 1, 2, 1. And now he's gonna deal 14 damage. But 18 minus 14 is 14. And then plus 4. He would counterattack. But if he's dead, he cannot counterattack. Wow. What a smart strategy. Also, they are gonna attack me, but I can just count on my leader, count on yes, and say no to the enemies. Goodbye. Have fun. And yeah, also we redraw our cards like every single turn. Oh. That's not good. That's really not good. Haha. get freezed. Freezed does not only freeze the counter, but it also freezes smack back. So he can't smack back us. Haha, his entire strategy is counter. And then we just count down yes. Count down, attack, Loki. Lumlin Biscuit or Snow Stick. Lumlin Snow Stick, do this. We can't call in the enemies because there's gonna be 6 of them, I don't know why. And get more attack on Wart. 1, 2. And yeah. Now we can call in the enemies. Razor. Razor is also wild. 3 counter, 3 damage plus the wild is really scary. But we can count him down. Please hit the Warthog. If you don't hit Warthog, I'm gonna be very, very angry. You know what? I don't actually mind. I don't mind. You can do whatever you want. 3 times 5 equals 15 damage. How much HP does your leader have? 9 plus 11 equals 20. 20 is okay. Snow Stick this. He deals 4 plus 8 equals 12 damage. Or you could just, Oh, he deals 3 more damage because we just killed him. But we barely survived. Yeah, okay. Then could have been very bad. And now we just kill him with Fairy Blade. Yeah. So that's Wildfrost. But there's still one more battle. Haha. Get tricked. Either Muncher. But we don't really need Muncher. All the cards in our deck are pretty good. Norm Traveler is also useless. And Chomp is really good. Hallelujah. Okay. First, we look at Hongo's Hammer and go boo, 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 boo. Hongo's Hammer, apply 3 Shroom. Which is 3 plus 3 plus 1 equals 6 damage, 7 damage over 3 turns. Doesn't sound too bad. Until you realize you could just Sunrod this guy. And he deals 40 damage in 1 turn. And yes, why thank you. And Sunrod is even a starting item, so why are you even here, stupid Hongo's Hammer? Shellboy is one of those OP items. Apply 5 Shell, Barrage, but deals 2 damage. Which is supposed to go on your guys, obviously. So your guys take 2 damage, but then you gain 5 Shell, so a positive of 3 HP to everybody in 1 row, which equals 9 HP. And with some charms, or cards that you unlock later in the game, you can make it absolutely correct by either decreasing its attack so that it doesn't deal damage to you, but it gives you shell, or increasing, for example, doubling its effects so that it does 10 shell instead of 5. That's just going crazy. And then you have Spice Stones. Apply 1 Spice, and then double the target Spice. Have you realized what this means? 7 plus 7 equals 14. Plus 1 equals 15. Times 2 equals plus 30 damage on work. Exactly. And this is reusable. It's not consumed. Wow. And you can also Numlin Biscuit it, so it just goes crazy. Give me that. Shellboy is also really good. It's just like Pinkberry Juice, one of the items that can carry your run. But I don't know. I think it's time for, yeah, I think we just play Spice Stones in our starter hand. And then we take Charm Machine. We don't need a second Numlin Biscuit. Don't really. Wow, another useless Charm. When snowed, gain equal damage. Which is just pretty stupid because you don't want to be snowing your guys. So you probably want Cleanse with that. But there's only 2 cards with Cleanse in the game, and that one of the cards is a companion that we saw earlier in the run, and the other is the one card that makes this charm actually useful if you don't happen to have like a lot of damage. So yeah, Pengu Charm is useless, very useless. And Snowball Charm, apply 1 snow. This is in fact not useless on our ward, which means if ward hits somebody with smackback, he applies the snow and they can't smack back if he doesn't kill them in one hit. Exactly. And then we leave, and then we get our free charm on top of that. And what is it? Balance charm. It's just like Jimbo charm, but like way better. It's no gambling. See how he has 2 HP and 2 attack and 4 counter. Now he has 1 more HP, 1 more attack, and 1 less counter. He got like 20 times better. Actually, I'm wondering, am I supposed to get Tiny Tycho in here? Oh no, he doesn't have the Shallow Kill charm. So I'm still gonna go with Ward because I really like Ward. And he has Chisel Border, he doesn't have. They all deserve to be equal. Exactly. Still a fun run. And that's the final boss here. The Heart of the Storm. Heart of the Storm? I don't know what it's called. Whatever. Frost Guardian. When HP lost, add equal attack to self and allies. And he has 60 HP, so he scaled them up. And himself as well. A Rock Forge, while active, adds +2 attack to all allies and -2 attack to all enemies. Which doesn't impact our build really much because we don't really care about -2 attack. Rockog also scary while active, add 1 Frenzy to all allies. And Grizzle applying a lot of snow. So we just want to kill them, that's the strategy. Wart, Dragon Pepper, a Dragon Pepper, double the spice, a 30 spice. Why yes. I would like some nice spice. Ice spice. Actually, I'm gonna kill that. Kill that. Kill the Rockhawk. And the Frost Guardian suddenly gained 32 damage. And this is why we have... Oh. He isn't even attacking. What a shame. Anyway. What I wanted to say, this is why we have True Mind. And I'm gonna count him down as well, so please kill the Grizzle, yes. And we killed both of them and we didn't even need to True Mind. It's going way too fast. Okay, second phase of the boss. When an ally is killed, lose half HP, so he goes down to a killable amount of HP, and gain +2 attack. So if you get him down, you need to kill him quickly. And there's also annoying Uber Bear, the bane of every Wildfrost player's existence. When hit, apply 2 snow to the attacker. It's scary. What is left in our deck? I think I'm actually just gonna play it like this and rely on restoring my HP. Do we take more Dragon Pepper? Why shouldn't I? Okay, please kill the Porcupine. Kill the Porcupine, you stupid. Are you stupid? Did you hear me? I said, are you stupid? Sorry, I didn't say anything. No, I didn't. You hit this guy while it deals damage. We don't care about him hitting the Frost Guardian. Loki, please hit Porcupine. Hit him. Hit. Loki, what are you doing? 4 damage. Leader, restore HP. Oh wait, I am really stupid. Ward. Yes, I'm right. Okay, so 10, 8 damage. We could freeze Winter Worm. 1 + 4 equals 5 damage on my Wallop. And the Porcupine is gonna deal 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage to those guys. We don't want our Pepper Flag dying. We use this. 1 damage. 4 damage. Porcupine has killed itself. I applaud you. I applaud you to your grand success. Loki, please don't hit the Uber Bear. 10 damage into this guy. Oh, I didn't realize Mega Mimic trigger when an ally in the row attacks. Yeah, I'm a bit stupid sometimes. But you know what? I also don't know what. I actually do know what. What? Yeah. Exactly. We kill him, and because he has Demon Eyes, we get 8 damage him, restore 8 HP. And now Uber Bear is gonna attack. But you know what we can do? We can just reach the Frost Guardian. Either we kill the Mega Mimic, which is the worst thing that could happen here. But you know, we can just beat the boss. And then we count onward. And that's the battle. I mean, if we had some more leeway, we could have played Spice Stones, but that's it. That is the game. But here comes the little spoiler. Spoiler alert! Our leader has become evil. We killed the evil. And now we have become the evil. Victory question mark? Yes! It's a victory! Well, kind of. So we applied 140 shroom, 100 spice, the highest damage hit 74, blinks from combos, highest spice reach. Okay, whatever. Back to town. 1 new Chittle card frame. And new Frost Guardian ascended. The fight we just fought was the Frost Guardian. And now we have become the Frost Guardian. So next time we're gonna fight a 66 HP guy with 3 attack. After 6 turns, deals 2 times damage. No, not really useful. But what is scary is actually, yeah, after 4 turns, deal 14 damage. What is he doing? Is he crazy? He probably is. So this just takes the guys we had, buffs them up, and also takes our deck and turns it into cards, like the Makoko, because we had Spice. We had the Makoko, because we had Snow. We have Grizzlands to me. And yeah, that's just the game. You just beat the evil, become the evil, beat the evil, become the evil. But there's a way to get out of the loop, and that's the harder difficulties. If you want me to make another video on the harder difficulties, then let me know. Anyway, bye!